semen retention, the studies, and ego. That is the topic right now. We're getting into it. This channel was about love and light. It was about me being like, hey, let's help people get out of porn addiction. Oh, good work, Joel. And that does feel awesome to do. That does give me like a narcotic high like nothing else. For you, chef's kiss. It feels good. But every now and again I'll talk about I'm on like 150 140 days of retention, of the retention cyst. Sometimes I'll just be like, hey, this is weird, not many people get up here, but this is what I'm experiencing. So I'll talk about that sometimes. But when I'm talking about porn addiction, it'll be like 20 views, 13 views of like the core people I love like brothers. But when I talk about retention, I get fucking goosebumps coming in. So I got this comment from Ricky Williams. He is a goof. I'll say that. Go out on a limb and say that. But what was it? What was his comment? It really got me hot as in angry, not turned on. Got me angry. Got me raging, absolutely raging. I'm not actually that. I'm not raging that much. But his comment was interesting because it always ties back into scientific studies. I got a lot of thoughts on scientific studies in this space particularly because it's something people always point to, and I'm going to tell you why as soon as you come in there with like, hey bro, have you read the science? I think the scientific studies aren't out. They aren't in, man. Or I read this study and... No, they don't even say that, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So I got this comment from Ricky Williams. Honestly, goof. Absolute goof. You know how he's a goof? Because he's like, this is his comment. You got a lot of growing to do. Soon you'll come out of that semen retention phrase like the rest of us. Now, why did this annoy me? He's trying to little bro me. Which kind of, I don't mind being little broed by like, actually, fuck it. I don't like being little broed by people. I don't like it. But it's this ego thing that he's, so honestly, I just got douche chills when I read it. I was like, oh, this guy's a fucking douchebag. But I'm like, love and light, you don't know his story. Be polite. And how do I do that now? I just ask questions. I ask questions because under questioning, every goof reveals themselves to be a goof. So I'm like, okay, what's your experience? He's like, I did it for 6 months. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So he can actually talk from experience. He's like, yeah, I did actually experience heaps of benefits. And I'm like, okay. But then I realized it was just mental and I read the studies. I found the studies, the scientific studies, and it proved to me beyond a shadow of a doubt that this is a placebo, man. What are you doing? He didn't even go that deep. He was just like, I read the studies. I go, fuck, you didn't. I don't believe him at all. You didn't read shit. What actually happened was, and this is what happens a lot, I've noticed, where instead of just being like, hey, I'm over it, it's too close to quitting. It's too close to quitting. So people will go, no, I actually had an epiphany on this whole retention space, and it turns out I don't need to do it anymore. But yeah, fair enough. If it's not aligned with your goals, I don't care. I don't care what you do. If it's not aligned with your goals, don't do it. I wouldn't even fucking advise people to do it. I'm doing it for a very, very specific reason, a secret reason that nobody even fucking knows about, so they can't really comment on it. So yeah, I wouldn't convince other people to do it, is my point. But yeah, that's not enough. That's not enough, though. That's not enough. He has quit. He's a quitter. That's 1,000% what's happened. He's quit. And instead of seeing other men out there doing it, he's like, no, I can get him to quit as well. Restart. Keep going. I'll keep going one take. I'm thinking this through. But I'm willing to read scientific studies. That's what I think separates me a lot from you fucking goofs, is I will read a scientific study critically. And I have read studies. Oh, I have read studies already. I have read books already on this shit. And I'm actually getting angry. And what you realize is, one, the ethics of studying this is very difficult. It's very difficult to ethically study this. Two, it's almost impossible to get a sample size. Like, who does this? And yeah, the only studies I've really read, I didn't read the studies on this. I'll admit it. I'll get to it. But a lot of them focus on monks, priests, that sort of thing. Because, like, who's doing this in real life, in daily life, without dressing in orange, without doing all of that? Not many people. So one, I think it is actually impossible to find good studies on this topic. Won't go into conspiracy rabbit hole. I almost did. I'm off that. For this channel is now about helping the people. But yeah, this comment really rubbed me the wrong way for just such a enjoy your little phrase. He was talking to me like I'm pretty sure I'm older than him. I would go out on him like I look a lot younger than I actually am because I don't drink, I've got good genes, whatever. So that's why I go through being a little broed a lot in life, and then people will be like, oh, you're fucking older than me. Oh, I'm so sorry. So that is what happens a lot. And this guy had a fucking anime photo as his display picture, which lets me know he is either late teenager or early 20s. That's about the acceptable cutoff for having a profile picture, anime profile picture as your display, according to me. Anyway, that's about it. I don't want to hear anything about study. Actually, the only person who's ever... Oh, and of course I asked him, like, hey, send me a study, and then he just stopped responding, because of course he doesn't have one study he can point to. He's just full of shit. Fucking goofball. Anyway, and the only person who's ever sent a study is like a porn chick. She's commented that, like, here's a study on the frequency, and you go, oh yeah, of course, it's you want people to go onto your channel. I don't think it was I think it's a guy, like a soulless guy running her account. Anyway, this was just a quick one from Ricky Williams. You're a fucking goofball, I'll say that. This channel was about to be love and light, but sometimes I'll get a comment where I'm just like, you fuck off, you goof. Anyway, I take that back. You're probably a good guy, Ricky Williams, but I'm sick of this scientific study shit. Fucking work it out yourself. That's how I feel about life now, anyway. Because scientific studies, I'm not going into scientific studies, that's a rabbit hole. For, like, who funds the scientific study? Is there even a financial incentive to fund a study on this? Is there? Name me one. No, you can't, because you're a fucking goof. I take it back. Fuck you, Ricky Williams. No, I take that back. Probably a good guy, but you're kind of annoying, and I guarantee no one gives a fuck about your opinion in real life. That's why you're on YouTube comments being like, I am the arbiter of retention. I mastered it. 6 months isn't even long, to be real. So, bless and fuck you at the same time. That's gonna be my new salutation. Bless / fuck you. All right, peace.